'Cause who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done? Mr. Brown goes off to town on the A21, but he comes home each evening and he's ready with his gun. So who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done?
On sea and air, the struggle continues to win back our civilization, while our army continues to fight with all the gallantry of our great tradition. Let us not forget the citizens who come home after a hard day's work and then go on parade as local defense volunteers. Here they're preparing a few surprises for any unwelcome enemy visitors. Shortage of weapons is no handicap. Everything that can be used to harass the enemy is pressed into service. They have an unbreakable will and an iron resolve. And if Adolf ever tries to set foot on this green and pleasant land, he'll be chased right back into the sea.
All right, at ease, everybody. Squad. Squad, shut! Stand at ease. Squad, shut! Stand at ease. Squad, shut!
I think it would save time, sir, if we were just to settle for that.
Yes, we'll go on to the next bit.
All right, to the next bit. All right. Squad present correct, sir.
Dismount, Corporal. It's a very smart hat. Where'd you get it?
Fell off the back of a lorry, sir.
Really? Stood up to it remarkably well. That needs sharpening.
Well, it's all right when I carved a joint on Sunday.
How did you get a joint on Sunday and they serve you with a pork chop?
Mind your own business. I don't have to tell you everything.
All right, that'll do.
Well, he's registered with me, sir.
Must look after our arms.
Rather look after a rifle.
They'll be coming along shortly, you can count on that. Pike, I told you yesterday, no mufflers on parade. Don't see the Grenadier Guards wearing mufflers, do you, Sergeant?
But I never really thought to look, sir.
Well, of course you don't.
Well, I got a note from my mum, sir.
Note? I'm not interested in notes. You're in the army now, Pike.
Sir, I think perhaps you ought to read it.
Oh, very well. Frank is starting with his chest again. He ought to be in bed. If he can't wear his muffler, he's to come home or he will catch his death. You can't have him wearing that thing on parade. Makes the whole platoon look ludicrous.
Well, perhaps he could wear it on patrol, sir. What time do you go on?
10 till 12.
It'll be dark by then, sir, anyway.
Oh, very well. Take it off now and wear it on patrol.
What's this? Stones, sir. From a catapult.
This is war, Fraser. I really do think we should draw the line at juvenile toys.
Yes, sir.
In future, ask the sergeant's permission before you bring any unauthorized weapons on parade.
I did, sir.
Did you?
I thought in view of the absence of rifles, sir, it might be useful as a sort of a medium-range weapon.
I used to be a dab hand it yourself when I was a boy.
Yes, that's rather a long time ago, Fraser.
What's that? I just hit my target just now at 100 yards. Felicia Beacon. Smashed to smithereens.
Good. Well, keep the thing out of sight. We'll be using Conkers next.
Did I hear you say, sir? We'll be getting our weapons soon.
I hope so, Fraser. I hope so.
Oh, thank God for that.
Look to your front, Godfrey. Take that smile off your face. It's a military inspection. Not an advertisement for Odol. Well, steady, ease. Now, I'll just read the notices, and then we'll carry on with our unarmed combat.
Unarmed combat, just about our mark, isn't it?
Now, pay attention. Now, Mrs. Samways, the guide mistress, has requested that when we're doing arms drill in the guide hut, the order slope arms will not be given. It appears that the points of your halberds went straight through the felt roof, and now when it rains, she has to send half her troop home. Now, we must be very careful when we're dealing with other organizations, or indeed with the general public, for that matter, that we don't get ourselves a bad name. An example of what I mean is this. Mrs. Samways has also complained that last night her assistant, Miss Beckwith, was followed home by one of our men, who, she alleges, shone an unobscured torch on her legs and was heard to mutter, "Caw, what a pair of gamaroos." Now, that's not the sort of thing I want to hear about my unit. Pike, Walker, Jones, you were all on patrol. I'm not going to ask who did it, but don't let it happen again.
Permission to speak, sir.
Yes, Gordon.
I'd like to confess it was me.
I'm surprised at you, Jones.
I know, Sergeant. I don't know what come over me.
Well, don't let it come over you again. Very embarrassing for a young girl.
Yes,
Supposing it had been Mrs. Samways herself.
that would have been all right.
How do you mean?
I wouldn't have bothered.
Silence in the ranks.
Now, there's one more thing. You'll be very pleased to hear that the Spitfire Fund now stands at £3 9 4.
Very good, sir, very good.
Now, on the word move, we'll gather round for a further lecture on unarmed combat.
All right. Up you go. Come round the circle and pay attention, everybody.
Now, are you volunteering to be a attacker again, Jones?
Well, we've got to do something, haven't we, sir? I mean, we haven't got any rifles yet, have we, sir?
Yes, Jones. Well, now, last night, we dealt with the countermeasures to be taken against an assailant with a dagger. And just a moment. Now, in view of last night's incident, I think we'd better dispense with this.
Yes, sir. I think that's probably very wise, sir.
Yes.
Use that one.
Maybe. Now, having taken the blow under the knife on the left forearm, you recall the next move is to twist the hand and grasp the assailant by the wrist. So, that's right, isn't it, Sergeant?
Yes, that's right, sir. That's as far as we got before the doctor arrived.
Right. Now, the next thing is to knock out our opponent. Now, this can either be done with the edge of the hand against the throat, the knee in the groin, or jab 2 fingers in his eyes. Stand behind him, Wilson, in case he falls backwards.
All right, Jones, all right.
It's all right, Sergeant. I shan't fall over. I won yesterday, didn't I?
This jumping in the eyes business. What happens if he's wearing specs like him?
That's a good question. But the chaps in Whitehall who wrote this manual had fortunately thought of that. And they've come up with a very smart alternative. They recommend that you shove the index and second fingers up the assailant's nostril. Now, it's not a pleasant business, but this is war.
And what do you do if he's wearing a gas mask?
Now, that's a very... Isn't it, Sergeant?
Yes, indeed it is, sir. It's a very good question.
Yeah. What do we do if he's wearing a service respirator? Must get used to calling these things by the proper name, Fraser. Service respirator. Anything in the manual?
No, nothing in here at all, sir. Nothing.
Ah, well, there you are, you see. Fraser has come up with a question which even the Whitehall Johnnies had not considered. But, of course, they're not front-line fighting troops like we are. So what do we do? I'll tell you what we do. We improvise. Put on your gas mask, Corporal.
Service respirator, sir.
Quite right, Sergeant. I'm subject to human frailties and weaknesses, just like any of us.
Do you mind holding that, please?
Yes, of course.
Corporal, this is supposed to be in a state of instant readiness.
Yeah, well, they're cat pieces for Mrs. Forster's cat, you see. She helps me count the coupons in the evening, so I see her cat right.
Now, we can't put our fingers in his eyes or up his nostril. Which is presumably why you asked the question, Fred. So what are we to do? Any suggestions?
Breathe on his window.
Doesn't seem to work.
Ah, well, you blew. You should have heard.
I see. Would you care to have a go, Sergeant?
And I think it's the celluloid material, sir. You see, it doesn't steam up.
It's getting steamed up in here, all right.
That's the answer, sir. You just hold him until he gets steamed up.
Possibly. I have it. We cut off the air supply. Place the palm of the hand against the air intake. Or, in the case of the service respirator, of course, grasp the tube and squeeze it. Now you know as well as I do that however tough and big a fighter is, be he Nazi stormtrooper, SS, or just plain Fritz, he cannot survive long without an air supply. This makes...
Service respirator, sir.
Get it off!
Well, get it off.
Are you feeling better now, Jones?
Oh, sorry, sir. I was overcome, sir.
It's all right, Jones. All right. Wasn't your fault.
No, sir, well, I wouldn't normally snuff out like that, sir, but my morale's all shattered, sir. I tried to keep it from the men, but what can you do with a shattered morale, sir?
Yes, I know. I'm terribly sorry. I feel entirely responsible.
No, sir, it's not you, sir. It's all the women. They come in the shop trying to get a bit on the side, sir. I'd like to oblige them, but I can't, sir. What can I say to them? I'm used to joints, Mr. Manring. Sirloins, top sides, spare ribs, wing ribs, legs of lamb, legs of pork, in all sizes and descriptions. You mention it, I've sliced it, sir. And now all I can give them is a measly 1 and 10pence, sir. And you don't realise the precision involved. You see, you're slicing it and you've got a bit of a shaky hand. You put it on the scales, 4pence light, there's all hell let loose, sir.
Oh, well, there it is, Jones. You see, it happens to all of us.
Yes, must remember there's a war on.
Yes, sir, but not only that, I'm sitting in the shop there with just a couple of rabbits hanging up and a tin of corned beef in the window, and if that ain't bad enough, after I've finished work and having me cup of tea, I take my assegai out and sharpen it up a bit, and then I'm coming on down to parade, and I think they're going to give me a rifle tonight, but it never is. There never is. No.
Our first casualty, Wilson. I didn't think Jones would go like that.
You know, I had my doubts about him right from the start, sir.
Oh, no nonsense. He's only dying to have a crack at Jerry, just like the rest of us.
Unless we get them their rifles very soon, sir, I think their morale is going to drop to rock bottom.
Right. I'll soon put a stop to this. Get the men on parade, Tell them that I personally will see that they get rifles before the week is out.
All right, sir. Have you any idea about
Don't argue with them. Just go and do it.
All right.
I don't know what we'd do without you, Mr. Mannering. You're our inspiration.
The hour and the man.
If ever our heart was in the right place, it's yours.
Anything else?
Well, only this, sir. Mr. Adams from the music shop. He's issued that check and there's nothing to meet it.
He's not doing very well, is he?
Well, see, he does over-order so terribly, sir. He's got 400 records of We'll Hang Out the Washing on the Siegfried line on his shelf.
He's not going to get rid of those now, is he?
No.
Couldn't he heat them up and turn them into nut bowls?
Not any nuts about, sir.
Poor fellow. But he's got the right spirit, you know.
Oh, yes, indeed, yes.
We're very slow to rouse in this country. We don't like wars and bloodshed. But once we knuckle down to it, we fight better than anybody else in the world. I think he should hang on to his records. We will hang out our washing on the Siegfried line, you know. Cash his check.
All right, sir.
Any news from headquarters?
No, not a thing. I think you were a little bit hasty last night, you know, sir, when you promised the men that they'd get their rifles before the end of the week.
Well, I had to tell them something. Got to boost their morale somehow.
Yeah.
You're both busy. I thought you might like your tea in here, sir.
Oh, thank you, Miss King. Very kind of you. Just put it on there, will you? Very thoughtful thing to do. What a nice girl she is.
Charming. Just look at that, Wilson.
What's that, sir?
Not a single currant in it. Remember those lovely buns we used to have before the war, full of rich, juicy fruit?
Yes, they were marvellous, weren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, look. I'm the lucky one. Look at that.
You got the wrong one.
That's the one you left behind, sir.
Well, you might at least give me one of your currants.
Well, of course I will. There you are, sir.
Oh, you dropped it.
So
You are a clumsy
Hold on,
fellow.
don't panic, sir. Please don't panic. I wouldn't have had that happen for the world. Must be under the paper somewhere.
Oh, well, I just have to do without
I'm so
currants.
sorry.
Colonel Square to see you, sir.
Colonel Square? I don't know Colonel Square. Do you know?
No, I never heard of him, sir, no.
Marsham Hall. I wonder what he wants. You better show him in, Miss King.
Yes, sir.
Mainwaring!
Ah, do sit down, Colonel.
Thank you.
Actually, it's pronounced Mannering.
Why the devil don't you spell it, Mannering? You the LDV fella?
Yes.
Yes, I might as well come straight to the point. Now, so far, the War House haven't found me a job. Heaven knows it should be easier now for the man of my experience. Served 4 years in the desert, you know, 1915 to 19. You heard of Ellerance?
I beg your pardon?
Ellerance, man, Ellerance. Now, what do you see in your mind's eye when I say that word, Ellerance?
Sure, but what do you see in your mind's eye, Wilson?
An ice cream, sir?
No, that's El Dorado.
No. I'm talking about Lawrence of Arabia. I served with him. Got it. Damn good eye for a fly, you know.
There you are, sir. Look, there it is. It's the one that got away.
Thank you.
I say, do you always eat them?
can't afford to wait. Very hard to come by in wartime.
Extraordinary. Well, now, when do I take over?
Take over?
The platoon man. If I'm going to join your lot, I've got to take over.
Well, I don't think there's any establishment for another office. I mean, I'm the captain, and Wilson here's the sergeant. Might fit you in as a corporal somehow.
A corporal? You're mad. Either I'm in complete charge or I don't join at all. I'm quite sure another platoon would welcome me with open arms. To say nothing of my rifles.
Rifles?
Yes, I've got about 20. Don't you want them?
Well, of course we do.
Yes, well, so does the Eastgate platoon down the coast. Oh, I know it's a bit of a blow. Lots of you chaps about want to become generals overnight. You mean well enough. You don't know the first damn thing about soldiering. Now, war is a serious professional business. And this situation calls for professionals trained in guerrilla warfare like myself. Now, you march your men over to my house at 6:30, and I'll make soldiers out of the lot of you. Only don't be late. There's a lot of work to be done.
All that damned impertinence. Have you ever heard anything like that?
I quite agree, sir. It's going to make it awfully difficult.
Difficult? How do you mean?
Well, difficult for you, sir. I mean, it's a terrible decision for you to have to take.
I don't see how my decision enters into it. Can't have an old fool like that in command.
After all, he is a DSO, sir.
I'm not suggesting he's not a brave old fool. I've no doubt he is. Will you cheat, too?
Well, he's commanded guerrillas.
Oh, in 1917. What's he know about modern warfare?
Huh? What do any of us know, sir?
Are you suggesting that I should stand down, Wilson?
I'm not suggesting anything. I'm not, sir. I mean, it'd have to be entirely your decision.
Commanding a unit like ours isn't like commanding Arabs in the desert. Our men are British. They've got to be led, not bullied. You have to have the right sort of personality.
Yes, I quite see that point, sir. But the question is, which is the most important weapon? Your personality or his rifles?
Blue skies around the corner. Walk round the corner with me.
Oh, son. Well, are they here yet?
What?
The rifles.
Well, what do you think? We're living on promises, aren't we, Mr. Fraser?
Well, I'm not marching through the streets anymore with this thing. I was full of bare gang of kids and they kept shouting, "Hi, mister, can we borrow your toasting fork?"
That's quite right. One of them offered to lend me his little toy cat pistol.
Yes, he offered me the same. I took it.
But this rate will be lucky if we get our rifles in time to fire the victory salute. What you doing about it?
He's on the telephone to HQ now.
I cannot emphasize too strongly the urgency of this matter. Yes, of course I'll hold on. They're talking to the quartermaster.
I see, sir, yeah.
Sir,
Yes, Walker.
I've just been on a blower, sir, to a geezer in the smoke. I can get you the rifles, as many as you want. 18 quid a time.
Out of the question, Walker.
But where do they come from?
Ah, well, you don't ask, do you? I mean, you know, he's a very good mate of mine, this geezer. I mean, he's very reliable, you know. He used to knock them off for the IRA. But, I mean, since he's going to our country, he's prepared to throw in 10 rounds per magazine, you know, special offer.
I'm sorry, Walker.
Got a Lewis gun for 100 quid.
100 quid? That seems rather a lot.
Well, I told him he was being a bit greedy, but he won't shift. Here, listen, come here. I look at it this way. Now, there's a vault full of oncers down at that bank of yours. I mean, who's there to count it except you two? You know what I mean?
Your suggestion is outrageous, Walker. Kindly rejoin your platoon.
Yeah, well, if you change your mind, you know. Hey, Mills bombs, quid each. Deadly.
No! Hello? Mannering here. It's about these rifles, sir. Well, couldn't you just let me have half a dozen? There's division upon division of ruthless armed men just across the channel, and all I've got is pikes and pick handles. I see. Oh, very well. Thank you. No luck.
No luck.
Your paper, sir.
Take the Pike. Just look at that.
Oh, she's rather attractive, isn't
Not
she?
that! Here! Invasion barges moving down from the north. And my men unarmed.
It's a pity you made that promise, sir.
No, it's not the promise that worries me. If Hitler kicks off, this town is going down in history as being the place that stopped him. We can do it, but we've got to have guns. There's only one solution, Wilson. My personal pride must not stand in the way of the defense of the realm. Fall the men in who are marching to Marsham Hall.
All right.
It's a happy day for you and me, for us and we. All the clouds have rolled away. It's a happy day. Toodaloo-loo-loo-loo-lay. The sun shines bright, the world's all right. It's a happy day.
Number 1 Platoon D Company, Local Defence Volunteers, reporting to Colonel Square.
Tradesman's entrance round the back.
Happy day. 4 and 20 sunbeams are dancing round my face. 4 and 20 more are dancing every place. It's a happy day. Toodaloo-loo-loo-loo-lay. You can't go wrong if you sing a song. It's a
Halt! Left! Men, you may wonder why I've brought you here. I am placing this unit under the command of Colonel Square. I'm doing this because not only has he the knowledge to turn you into a fine fighting unit, he also has the rifles. I think you'll find in him an officer of rare distinction and quality.
That's your first lesson, Captain. A man mounted is always superior to one on foot.
Ask me, it's a bit too lally.
You gave us a bit of a start, sir.
Exactly. And we're going to give the Hun a start. Fast, mobile, mounted patrols, striking from the hills and disappearing into the night. Start! Stop! Left! Hop! Take! March!
Did you hear that, Wilson? It's absurd. Cavalry went out with the Ark.
We'd better humour him, sir. We need those rifles.
Let's celebrate, let's get that holiday spirit. We've got our cares on. Let's shout it out so everybody can hear it. We've found our It's a happy day. For you and me.
These are your chargers. The horse is a noble, faithful, and obedient animal. He has marched side by side with man along the road to civilization, proving himself a staunch and trusting friend. Wilson, mane wearing, get him mounted.
Turn you to glue.
All right, sir.
Shall I ring for the ambulance now, sir?
The ground's pretty soft. We may be lucky. I must admit they're fine-looking animals. Did the Colonel breed them?
No, sir. He's looking after them for the duration. They belong to Bailey's Circus.
Here, man, take this saber. What the hell are you doing? In your hand. I can't hang on to you. Sir. Some of us think we stand more chance against Hitler with you and the Pikes than with him and these four-footed dragons.
That's very loyal of you, Fraser. I've only allowed you to go through all this because we must have those rifles.
Here's the rifle, sir. I think you ought to have a look at them.
Great heavens. This is a war, not the desert song. Could be hoodwinked. Wilson, take what's left of the platoon and march them back to the church hall.
Good night,
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you.
So the men are waiting for you to talk to them.
All right, don't panic, Wilson. We must all keep our heads.
You know, sir, I think it was a bit rash of you to promise the men those rifles before the end of the week.
The commander in the field has to take decisions, whether they're rash or otherwise. That's what makes him a leader. Ah, it's maybe good news. Mannering, how? Yes? Yes? Oh. I see. Thank you very much.
News of the rifles, sir?
No, I'm afraid not. Message from GHQ to say that we are no longer to be known as the local defense volunteers. From now on, we're the Home Guard.
Oh, I see. That sounds rather nice, doesn't it, sir?
Oh, yes. I'm sure it'll frighten the Germans to death. To know that they've now got to deal with an unarmed pack of Home Guards instead of an unarmed pack of local defense volunteers. Tell the men I'll be out in a minute.
All right, sir. What are you going to say to them, sir?
I don't know. Come in!
Captain Mainwaring, sir?
Mannering, yes.
Oh, yes. Evening, sir. I've got 500 armbands here for you, sir.
LDV. We're a bit late, aren't you?
I got here as soon as I could, sir. Sign here, sir. And here, sir. And, over the page. Once more, sir.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Thank you, sir. Put the rest of the stuff by the door, Bert. Night, sir. Good night. Right, nice and tidy there. Good lad. All right.
Excuse me, sir. The men are still waiting.
Thank you, Wilson.
Have you decided what you're going to say to them?
Yes, I have. I'm going to thank the men and tell them that their trust in their leader was not misplaced.
Oh, that's rather good.